Welcome back, Patrick Basham. Now, Patrick, a couple of things I want to follow up with you quickly. Number one, the minority vote. How did Biden do nationwide on the minority vote, as opposed to these few counties? Did he do better? Did he do worse compared to, say, Obama or Clinton?
Biden did much worse than Obama, and he even did worse than Hillary Clinton. And he received less than 90% of the African American vote, well under. It's impossible for a Democratic presidential candidate to win an election with less than 90% of the African American vote, especially with a proportionately lower turnout than normal.
And I remember people saying, if the president of the United States can pick up 2 or 3% more of the African American vote, he's got this in the bag. Don't you remember people saying that?
They do. And Donald Trump almost doubled his African American vote, which made it extremely impressive for him and that much harder for Joe Biden to be competitive in the election.
And Donald Trump, while he is said to have lost, and that's why these challenges are going on and questions are being raised by me and people like you, legitimate questions, the Republicans had a hell of an election day, didn't they? They flipped a couple of state houses. They didn't lose a single one. They didn't lose a single Republican incumbent. They've taken, by count today, about 12 seats back in the House of Representatives. They held on to the Senate so far. There's 2 seats up, we know, in Georgia that are crucial. But 23 out of 33 Senate seats up were Republicans. They held on to the vast majority of them, even though they were predicted to lose them. So you have this massive swell of Republican support at the state level, at the House level. They hold on to the Senate for now. And the President of the United States loses in a big electoral college defeat. Does that make sense to anybody?
It shouldn't make sense to anybody because it simply doesn't make sense. The media polls said Biden would win in a landslide in the popular vote and the electoral college, obviously, and there would be a blue wave that would increase Nancy Pelosi's majority in the House and give the Democrats the Senate. As you say, none of that happened. None of that happened, but strangely, Biden, as the apparently allegedly successful challenger, sweeps into the White House with absolutely no coattails. In fact, his party does worse with him as the victorious presidential candidate than one could have imagined. It is absolutely mind-boggling. I mean, this just doesn't happen this way. And it's further testament to the fact that Biden only did well in the precise areas of the country that he needed to do well to squeak by in certain key states.
And so people are literally trying to figure out what's taking place. You have these civil suits by the campaign. You have civil suits by others who are not in the campaign. You have hearings taking place in the states, whether it's Michigan or Pennsylvania and other states, trying to figure out what took place. The criminal bar is a very high bar. They've been quote-unquote systemic fraud. I just explained what happened in Pennsylvania. Systemic fraud or no systemic fraud, they cheated. They fixed the system, and I don't mean reform, but fixed the system to help Joe Biden and the Democrats. Otherwise, they wouldn't have made all these changes. So my question to you is this. Why do the Democrats want to take the security and safety measures out? Signatures, postal dates, witnesses, observers? Is it because they believe in good government? Or is it because they feel that they're going to win if they can institutionalize fraud?
Well, it appears that the way in which an election is run in this country is the only aspect of public life and public policy where the Democrats favor looser regulations rather than a really strong, tight regulatory state. For some reason, philosophically, ideologically, they flip. They are schizophrenic on this. They think that the looser the rules, or in fact, maybe no rules at all, is better. For some reason, that is an enfranchising element, a tool, they believe. But I mean, as you have said, it actually, and many others have said, it actually disenfranchises arguably most people in the country. So the Democrats are in a strange position of advocating for a very light touch by government in an area which seems quite clearly to benefit them, but a very blunt, crude touch elsewhere.
I think they use California as a petri dish. I think they want to take all the worst practices